B'ezras Hashem, this coming Tuesday, March 31st at 8 o'clock, I was asked to do a presentation by Congregation Beth Aaron on tefillah and mindfulness. The title is going to be How Mindfulness Impacts Prayer and How Praying Impacts Our Mind. The concept is that I speak about how prayer is an important part of us being able to work with our minds and being present and in the moment. And we have opportunities 3 times a day to do it. It's not like we have to go to the gym. The gym is right there. Right now it's right here. We don't even have a gym to go to. Everybody's doing it at home. And in this discussion and presentation, I'm going to be talking about the importance of learning prayer, not in the way it's been taught up until now, by rote and by song, but to actually learn it through words. And I decided if I'm going to be talking about it that way, maybe I can demonstrate through brief 15-minute, maybe 20-minute segments, picking a particular prayer, a tefillah, and I'm going to try and do it line by line in the Hebrew first and then in the English. And my hope is to do it not just in one way of interpreting it, but a lot of what we say has many different meanings, and I'll try and blend in a few. And people can feel free in their comments to certainly give me other pieces of information that would embellish our understanding of what prayer is. And my belief is that the more we understand what we're saying, and we realize what the words mean, and what these tefillot are supposed to inspire in us, then maybe we'll be able to focus more on them, and that will improve our ability to concentrate and to be able to be more mindful in general. So I thought the obvious first tefillah to work with, and maybe I'll do this as a sequence starting with Modeh Ani and working all the way through. So I'd like to focus on this first tefillah. I'm going to mention that it's going to be this one dedicated to a friend of mine, Micha Kaufman, who is now one of my chavrusas, who I'm hoping to learn with on a regular basis once we can get back together outside of our homes. And we've decided to be able to start learning davening, tefillah, from the beginning. And Modeh, we noticed, has 2 meanings. The one that we usually think about is that Modeh Ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, that I'm thanking God, who is the God, the King, who is chai v'kayam, and we'll focus on that in a minute, but I'm thanking him. That's what the word Modeh means. Thank you very much for letting me wake up. And in this day and age, in fact, in any day and age, we shouldn't take that for granted, but in this day and age more than ever, when some people that we know just aren't waking up. When we wake up and before we put our feet down, we wake up with an awareness and a mindfulness that I need to thank our Creator for making it possible for me to have my soul return to me. But we also notice that the word Modeh also means not just thank you, but I admit. Modeh Ani lefanecha, I admit before you, King of the universe, who is alive and who is vibrant, who's with us, who's Kayam, every single day. And I'll be talking about that more later when we get later into davening with Hamachadesh Betuvo B'chol Yom Tomid, that we have a God who didn't just create the world and then just went on vacation. Our God is Chai V'Kayam. He's alive and he's participating in the world every day. What we're going through right now is not an accident. He is Chai V'Kayam, and he looked around and he said, wow, I think I need to tweak something here. They don't get it. So he sent us to our rooms as a way of being able to really reflect, and hopefully when we return, we'll be able to be different. So Modeh Ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam, when you get up in the morning, we're not just thanking God, we're also admitting. But what are we admitting to? I think what we're admitting to is that God is the one who runs this all. He is the King. Sometimes we think that, wow, I'm in charge and I run it all. We don't. And that's why in certain places in davening we say, V'lo nevosh, I shouldn't be ashamed. What should I be ashamed of? Ki b'cha b'tachnu, that I believe in you, that you're the one who runs this all. And I'm just lucky to be able to wake up and to put my feet onto the ground and to realize that I need to thank you. And I need to admit that anything that I'm about to do today is not going to be accomplished without your help. And I'm admitting that before I even get out of my bed. Shehechazarta bi nishmasi, I'm thankful that you returned my soul to me. Bechemlo rabba emunasecha. Now that word rabba can be seen from two different places. Bechemlo rabba or rabba emunasecha. What do those words mean? We're thanking God because we recognize that it's with great compassion and with great faithfulness that God is returning our souls to us. We have to earn that. We have to merit that because faith is a two-way street. You trust in people that you can trust in, that are trustworthy. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants faith because he wants for us to be able to be faithful so that he can be faithful to us and be compassionate. And then listen to the next phrase. Reishis Chochma Yiras Hashem. And this we're going to talk about when we talk later in the Shemona Esrei. What do those words mean? Reishis Chochma. When I started preparing this concept of mindfulness, I wanted to see if Judaism was consistent with this idea. And I saw through davening, through Mishnah, through Gemara, through everything, this concept of mindfulness is there all the time. And in davening in the morning, what's the first thing I say? Reishis Chochma, the beginning of wisdom, Yiras Hashem. Fear of God is where wisdom can emanate. And when we get to the bracha of Chonein Hadas in Shemona Esrei, first bracha there is also about mind. We'll talk about that. But stay with Modani for one more minute. Seichel tov l'chol osehem. Seichel, common sense, understanding, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives that to everybody. Seichel tov, good common sense, that's given to everybody. But Chochmah, that's reserved for those who first acquire Yirat Hashem. So when we wake up in the morning and you say Moda'ani, and start each morning, maybe first listen to the video, get into the right frame of mind, and then say the words, Moda'ani lefanecha melechai v'kayom, shehechazarta bi nishmosi b'chemlo rabbo emunasecha. Reishis Chochma Yiras Hashem, Seichel Tov L'chol Osehem, Tehilato Omedet La'ad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Recognizing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Melech from beginning to end. He's in charge. He brings what we need to learn. Sometimes he gives us presents, and sometimes we need a patch. I think what happened now is that God looked down, and he saw we needed to go to our rooms. There's another video I did, Corona Timeout. There's one that I did, The Cure. There's a way out of this, but we have a lot to learn. Let's start through prayer. Let's start from the beginning with being thankful and being humble. Thankful for waking up, and humble when we recognize that we're not in charge. The Melech is. And he is the Melech Chai V'Kayim. Have a good morning and a great day.